Hi, it's Miss Paula again. Welcome to Social Studies lesson, week 4, activity number 1. Miss Alejandra and I created this material to continue in studying Greece and Rome, society and daily life. This is part 2. Economic activities in ancient civilizations. Well, what's economy? Economy is how a civilization makes money through the buying and selling of goods and services. For this, Greeks and Romans were very intelligent and used natural resources, which are materials that come from nature, trade routes, which are ways to communicate with other countries, agriculture and cattle, which are the extraction of plant and animal resources, and manufactured products. These are handmade objects. So, economy in ancient Greece. As you know, the territory in Greece had a lot of mountain ranges, so communication and transportation was very difficult. So only 20% of land was farmable. Farmable means that it's good for agriculture or good for planting things. So in Greece, they grew animals that needed little land to survive, like these animals over here. They planted plants also that needed little water to survive, like this. Fishing, craft work, and pottery were important economic activities. They used different materials like wood, wool, clay, steel, bone, and metal. Olive oil and grape wine were the most famous products. Economy in ancient Rome. Well, the economy in Rome was very similar to the economy in Greece. So few land was farmable. They grew animals that needed little land to survive. They planted plants that needed little water to survive. And fishing, craftwork, and pottery were important economic activities. Oils and grains were the most famous product too. So we still use them. We still use olive oil, grape wine, and grains. So these products are very important in economy, in the past and now in the future. Trade routes. Well, trade routes were very important because using the routes, they could transport all the goods. They had sea routes that were the most common and the land routes, which were very difficult to use and expensive. Traded goods were leather, linen, wheat, and barley from Egypt, pork, cheese, and glass from Rome, ivory and spices from Africa and India. Greek and Roman expansion. Well, Greeks and Romans lived together almost at the same time. They were like neighbors. The peninsulas were near each other. So Greeks expanded first, and they covered all the Orange territory. You see? But later, the Roman Empire expanded even more, covering more territory from Europe. All the yellow color is the expansion of the Roman Empire. So this was a biggest empire. The biggest empire. So due to the relief, surrounded by mountains, islands, and seas, Greece and Rome expanded to all Europe and other continents like Asia and Africa. Rome was the biggest empire. Activities and jobs in ancient Greece and Rome. Well, they had different activities like we have now. There were a lot of soldiers because military education and military activities were very important. They had builders, constructores, women work with textile, bordado y tejido. There were a lot of philosophers. The most important philosophers were in Greece and in Rome. Medics, like the doctors we have now. In summer, Romans harvest their crops. In winter, they work at home, tanned leather, made tools and baskets. Diet, clothes, and housing. Well, diet was very healthy. That's why they were so intelligent and sporty. They consume a lot of proteins, fats, good fats, seafood, and cereal. And also dairy products, lácteos. They wore tunics. Men and women used tunics, dresses, belts here, and sandals to cover their feet. They had different type of houses. They were made of adobe, wood, and stone. So this is an example of a regular house for a normal family, and this was for rich people. These ones had pipes like tuberías now in the present, and they were called domus. So this house was for a rich family, you see. Pretty cool, huh? So, transportation in Greece and Rome. This was very important because in this way they expanded and they made a very good economy. So the most common way of transport was by sea, using ships of different size to travel and trade. This is an example. By land, they used wagons, carts, and carriages, pulled by horses and donkeys, but this was expensive. Romans had roads, so this made land transportation easier. So, the alphabet and language. Greeks and Romans created language and number systems to improve communication. In Greece, people spoke Greek. This is the Greek alphabet. In Rome, people spoke Latin, and this was the Latin alphabet. And also Romans created a number system, the Roman numbers. In some cases, we use Roman numbers, to order things and list things, okay? So this is important because Latin is a very important language because Spanish, the language that we use today, comes from Latin, viene del latín. So languages in ancient civilization was very important for the language that we use now. Okay, and this is the activity part, okay? This is activity number 2. Number 1. You need to go and find your green copybook, the science copybook. The title is Greece and Rome, okay? Write the instruction. So, activity, write in your copybook. Using the alphabet and numbers in Greece and Rome, write number 1, your number in ancient Greek. Number 2, your name in Latin. And number 3, your birthday with Roman numbers. So, if a letter doesn't exist, you can use a Spanish alphabet. It's okay. Okay, after you finish that activity, continue writing using your copybook and time to reflect. Read and answer. Write this instruction. Greeks and Romans had to adapt to survive and grow as civilizations. So answer the following questions. How did they adapt to the difficulties in the territory? Number 2, how did they adapt to work with natural resources? Number 3, how did they adapt to transport and communication? And number 4, how did they adapt to satisfy basic needs like food, clothes, and housing? So you need to reflect to answer this and write your answer. It doesn't have to be a long answer. Try to use English, use the vocabulary from this presentation. You can use information from previous lessons and you will be fine. Just keep it simple and clear, okay? I'm gonna give you an example if you don't understand. For example, here in Antofagasta, we live close to the coast. So in order to satisfy our needs, we use resources from the sea, like fish, for example. You see? I'm gonna give you another example. With the coronavirus, this is a problem for everybody. So the school adapted to survive to this virus by creating this virtual school and solve the problem of education. You see? So if we have a problem or a need, humans adapt and we can survive. Try to think about that when you answer the questions. Okay? And that's it. When you finish writing everything, take a picture of both activities and send it to your teacher. I hope you have fun with this. Remember, any doubts you can write and have fun. See you later. Bye.